Hey, everybody, it is that magic moment, Thursday Night Live. Thank you so much for hanging with us on this very, very special Thursday night. You're going to see why this is. I actually have can you see? I actually have goosebumps right now. My hair is like standing up on, I don't know why. I'm like excited tonight. You know why I'm excited? I'm excited because of the obvious that tonight, of all the Thursday Night Lives, we get a chance to talk about the thing that we are so passionate about, so in love with, so excited for. Because why? Because you guys feel exactly the same. You're in love with it. You're passionate about it. You guys are winning the game and you're doing fantastic. And it's so, it's so incredible in the sense that, we have a great group. Dr. Keeler from Indianapolis. And I'm so glad you can hang with us here tonight. So very, very cool. Oh, there you are. There you are. Perfect. All right. I think we're good then. I think we're perfect. All right. Perfect. So tonight is a special night. I don't know why you keep popping in like that. I'm gonna try to figure out why as we go. We'll try to figure it out. Oh, I know why. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. That's why. Sometimes when doctors come in, they're unmuted, so obviously, which is fine. So tonight is different than all other nights. Why is tonight different than all other nights? Well, because of the fact that the topic here tonight is how to attract spinal disc cases, but also how to process spinal disc cases much better and to really, really be able to do what other chiropractors don't know how to do, which is to be able to help patients avoid opioids, avoid epidural injections, avoid microdiscectomies, laminectomies, spinal fusions, foraminotomies, metal and cages in their back because of one simple reason. And that reason is because the majority of the doctors here tonight with us on Thursday Night Live are spinal decompression specialists. They are spinal decompression doctors. So we have a great room here tonight. This is a kick-tush room. So before we actually start here tonight, you know what I wanted to do here tonight is I actually, believe it or not, I wanted to share a few things with you, and then we're going to go right into it. So I'm going to actually share my screen here, if we can do that. And let's see if we can do that. Yeah, that'll be cool. Can we do that? Perfect. All right, that looks good. How about this? Can you see that? How about this? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Let me see here. How about that one? Can you see that? There we go. How about now? Can you see that? Yay! You can see that, right? All right, very cool. So tonight is Thursday Night Live, which has become so many doctors' new addiction. Those are not my words. Those are the words of some incredible doctors who shared that with us. And tonight, which is really cool, to kind of get it started, what we wanted to do here tonight was, for the first time ever, we wanted to do what they call Throwback Thursday. And if you don't know what Throwback Thursday is, if you're on any type of social media, specifically Facebook, on Facebook, they have something called Throwback Thursday, where, as you know, you probably, you post a little picture. So I wanted to post a picture of, guess who? You ready? Give me a drum roll. Yes. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Boy, oh boy. Who is that handsome dude? Yes, it is the one and only Dr. Eric Kaplan. And you know what I love about this picture? I actually remember when this picture was taken. And for those of you who don't know why, I'll share that with you here tonight. But you know what I love about this picture? I love about, he was styling and profiling back in 1986, 1987. And, what was so cool is, as we always say, it's important to look back, to look forward, but to always live in the moment, to always live in the present, to have, as what we always call as chiropractors, you know it well, it's called PTC, present time consciousness. And if you don't know why that's kind of, I guess you would say kind of special to me, here's the reason why. I don't know if you know this, but believe it or not, 30 some odd years ago, I was actually Dr. Kaplan's associate doctor. Can you dig it? Can you believe that? I was actually Dr. Kaplan's associate. Talk about stepping in it, if you know what I mean. You know, in New York, we used to say that. If you walked outside, you walk your dog and you step in, you know what? That was called luck. Well, guess what? In life, you make your own luck. And you make your own success. But I have to tell you, the moon and the stars were in alignment that day. And guess what? It got even better as the years went on. And you know, it's so much fun to look at these pictures. And the most fun really is to be able to share it with you guys here tonight. That's really, you know, obviously one of our favorite things to do. So we're going to jump into it here tonight. It is such a treat and such an honor. I never get tired of introducing him. Why? Because he's got the greatest resume as a chiropractor in the history of the profession. If you don't believe that, I'll send you his resume. It's that good, and it doesn't stop. He keeps adding to it, which is so much fun. I wanted to welcome absolutely to Thursday Night Live, our co-host, the one and only, Dr. Eric Kaplan.
I haven't been around this many people in so long, I didn't know what to do. So, can you hear me, Perry? Shake your head.
Perfect. Yeah, we hear you perfect.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Listen, I got to hold on. I'm uncoronating myself. Hold on. Let me just make sure I'm okay for everybody. No temperature. So the point is, yes, these are scary times. You can be a winner or a whiner. Now, Rich Law, this is for you. You see my hair back then? That's going to be you in 15 years. I want you to know, I had Rich Law hair then. But Rich, this is what happens. It's an amazing thing what we do as we get into the world that we're in. And it's an amazing thing that we do. You know, today I got an email. And Kurt, you know who I'm talking about. And I can look at MRIs all day long. And I want you to know, for those of you that think this is not a party, I brought drinks for everybody tonight because this is what I've been doing during the corona. It's home brew. So the point is, it's green juice. Perry has this juicing on a regular basis. Good girl, Steph. But the point is, as I sit there, you know, you can be a winner or a whiner, a hero or a zero, and you have to decide how you're going to take your practice to the next level. Let me give you an example. Do you know that 7 out of 10 Americans take prescription drugs? 7 out of 10. That means 70% of your practice is taking prescription drugs. And I used to love when patients say, oh, but I'm only getting Medicare patients. Now, Kurt, you sent me an MRI today, and this guy had more problems than probably most of the MRIs I've seen tonight. And you said, is he a candidate for decompression? Well, you know what? It depends who you talk to. Let me give you an example. I'm not going to get political, but let me get political. What does that mean? I'm not going to get political, but let me get political. Do you know the World Health Organization that's under fire now over the coronavirus? Do you know that the World Health Organization says chiropractic is not acceptable for herniated discs? Are you kidding me? So hold on. I'm going to support the World Health Organization when they say that chiropractic is not acceptable. It's contraindicated for herniated discs. So guess what? I take the World Health Organization and I push them out of my envelope because you know what? I'm into the American Health Organization. I'm into what we can do for people, and nobody can treat this problems better than we can. All you have to do is look up online. When they went to the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, Stephanie, you know, I said this to you, and they did a survey out of 100 orthopedic surgeons, and they said, would you have back surgery? 99 out of 100 said no. 99 out of 100 said no. That's amazing. So what I'm saying to you doctors is every person that has surgery in your area, guess what? Right? It's a little bit how to get your message, how to provide the research. And let me tell you, Kurt sent me a thing today, sent me an email, and we looked at an MRI, and Kurt at any point can shake his head yes. Hope he does. But the point is, here's what I'm going to tell you. The coronavirus will go away. Disc pain and disc herniations will not go away. I have a close friend here tonight who's on this, a new member to our family. future, Dr. Eli Goldstein. And Eli said, you know what? Eric, the insurance companies are not paying me what they used to pay me. What do I do? And you know, I start off every meeting with two things. And I'm going to tell this to you, Richie Lore, because you have a good hairdo tonight. You're looking good. You're looking magnificent. I don't love you, Rich, because you have 12 tables. Now, here's a guy in Decatur, Illinois. His practice is filled with Mennonites. I'm going to be honest. I'm from Jersey City. I didn't even know what a Mennonite was. I've told Richard that a million times. But the point is, what I love about Rich Lore is he's all in when it comes to chiropractic. He comes from a family of chiropractors. His father's a chiropractor. His brother's a chiropractor. And you know what? He's never cared about the money. So when you listen to Richard tonight, don't think he's going to say, oh, how much money is he making? He doesn't care. We were with him in St. Louis, and we're at the bar. Hold on, let me get a drink. We're at the bar, and Rich Lore says, he pulls out of his pocket, he says, the insurance checks, and he says, I'm not going to cash these. You know why, Dr. Kaplan? I said, why, Rich? He says, because I'm not dependent on the insurance companies anymore. Is that correct, Rich? Shake your head. Yeah, I said, I'm not dependent on them anymore. And that's what he's done because he's all in when it comes to the treatment of this problem. You know, when they say, if you don't know where you're going, the best thing you want to do is get there any faster. If you don't know where you're going, why are you in such a rush? But if you know where you're going, the question is, let's get there. I mean, it's an amazing thing because, you know, I'm dealing with the World Health Organization. I'm dealing with neuropathies, which is $1 billion, not million, $1 billion industry. And the person 65 to 69 take an average of 15 prescriptions a day. Are you kidding me? And we're taking Viagra right off the game. It does not count Viagra. So that's 16 automatically for anybody over 60. I mean, it's an amazing thing what they do. It's an amazing thing. And listen, I've spoken to the president. I've had him come in tonight. He's here for a quick thing. Do you like the World Health Organization? No, why? Because you don't believe in chiropractic, correct? All right, thank you, President Trump. We'll see you a little later. So the point is, listen, we have to be able to deal with the problems that we deal with, and you guys cannot be scared. Eleanor Roosevelt said, when it comes to fear, the only thing to fear is fear itself. And you cannot accept anything, you cannot accept a problem unless you're willing to accept the problem. I understand, doctors. Listen, I know corona's out there, but this problems are out there. Herniations are out there. Kurt sent me a thing. The guy had stenosis. He had osteophytes. And he's saying, is this a candidate? Well, hell, Kurt, of course he's a candidate. What are you looking for? I mean, the question is, if you're looking for contraindications, okay, we do that. And we do it at the seminar. And I'm going to tell everyone out there, you know, for $179 a year, join the International Disc Education Association, IDEA. Dr. Bard and I started this. We do it for research only. We pay someone to provide research only. It's an ongoing thing. And why do we do it? So that you guys can be educated to be the best you can be. This is not just about money, but I will promise you this. If you know what you're doing, you'll make money. If you know what you're doing, you'll help people. Listen, I read a lot. What do I read? I read stuff. I read the best of all magazines. I want you to know this is what I read. I read it every day. I have it in every room of my house. This is what I do. Hey, who's that guy? Hey, who's that handsome guy? Hey, the guy in the left, I got to acknowledge him. Shake your head if you're watching. I got to acknowledge this. Dr. Bard, first of all, spent so many hours putting this together. And I want to compliment on him on doing this. So, Perry, to you right here, you big guy. We want to tell you, great job today. Look at all these people that came to hear you. And people think this is easy. Listen, we're zooming along. God, that's a good picture. So anyway, as I'm dealing with this, I got to tell you, Perry, we thank you because people don't realize how hard he works to get this done. I mean, let me tell you something. If you get a guy like James Cronin, James, I see your face. If you get a guy like James Cronin, who happens to be a Mark Wahlberg lookalike, he was in the last movie as a body double for Mark Wahlberg. For those people that don't know, he comes out of the woodwork and he's here tonight. Nobody more dedicated to chiropractic. And so when I see people like Rich Lore, you know, my love for Richard is very unique. It's very unique because what I see is a guy who loves what he does, who does it for passion and purpose and principles, not just for profit. Not just for profit. Because here's what I'm saying to you guys. If somebody, here's my question to you tonight. If somebody has a herniated disc, where do they go? Eli, nobody's bigger and better than you when it comes to personal injury. Listen, Frank Liberti's been on my ear all week. You got to do this program. You got to do this program. He's talking about Colossus. He's talking about this, talking about that. The problem is, what I love about disc injuries, what I love about neuropathy, is people will pay you up front. They'll pay you. And what a beautiful thing that they'll pay you. You know, when we went to see Rich Lohr, and Perry will introduce him more later, and we go to Decatur, Illinois, I'm going to tell you we had to take planes, trains, and automobiles. And we're driving in this country, and all we saw was corn farms. And by the way, Jason, great corn last night. Stephanie, great corn. That sweet corn you got us, phenomenal. So here we are driving to Rich Lohr. There's nothing, right? It's like the Wizard of Oz. We're going down the road, Perry and I, with a robot, with a tin man. I need heart, I need practice, I need principles. And we drive up, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's like out of a movie, all of a sudden comes this town, Decatur, Illinois. Decatur, Illinois, are you kidding me? And the guy has 12 decompression tables, and they want to know if the brand works. Well, let me tell you, doctors, the brand is bigger than the product, because chiropractic universally is unheard of. World Health Organization. Herniations are contraindicated. Well, you know what? That's why they're called who? Who the hell are they? Who are they? I don't know who they are, but I'll tell you what, they don't make it in my house. They don't make it in my house. Let me tell you the future of the World Health Organization. I have the future. Let me take you to the future right now. Here's the future of the World Health Organization. This is, hey, what do you mean we can't treat herniations? There you go. The point is we can, and we will, and we do. When I can get a guy like Dan Weymouth from California, Dan, I admire your perseverance. Dan is on every one of these, and he's working and doing. You know, Rich, one of the things that we talk about, and hopefully you'll talk about it later, that part of the difference between the guys that win and the guys that whine is three things. One is their confidence in what they do. Two is their commitment to chiropractic. And three, which is the most important of all, it's knowing what to do, how to do it. We teach you how to present it, how to package it, how to put it together. You see, as the former president of Nutrisystem, I learned something. I learned a great lesson. Listen, I'm a kid from Jersey City, okay? How the hell do you become a president of Nutrisystem? How the hell do you read magazines? Hey, look who's there. I got to just, listen, another promo. But anyway, how do you get there? The point is you get there through practice and perseverance and never taking no for an answer and believing in what you do. You know, as I said, Perry puts so much energy and effort into doing these things on a weekly basis. And then remember, Zoom only allows a certain amount of people here. The world is Zooming. Let's make you practice Zoom tonight. Let's take your practice to the next level. Let's understand the trilogy. I call it the trilogy. What's the trilogy? Facebook, your website, television. That's the trilogy of marketing. Perry and I were talking the other day, and I talk to Perry every day. It's the highlight of my day. And we were talking about years ago, Eli, you remember this. We talked about the yellow pages. You had to take a full page. And everybody would be A chiropractic. Then it was AA chiropractic. Then it was AAA chiropractic. You know, then they had to become Aiken chiropractic, ACHIN, because it had to begin with an A. Otherwise, you were lost because everybody started taking full pages. And we were paying like $3,000 a month. And maybe, Rich, we'd get one patient. Yet we know through Facebook. Facebook is what I call target marketing, meaning we can get specific ads for people with herniated discs. And they know. No different, same for neuropathy. Let me tell you something. If someone calls your office and says, I have neuropathy, guess what? They've already been diagnosed. Now it's up to you to close the case. What do you mean? If they know they have neuropathy, somebody has already told them they have neuropathy. They've already taken Neurontin. They've already taken Gymbalta. They've already taken Neurontin. They've already been on Lyrica. They've already taken the major drugs, and they haven't worked. Why? Because Lyrica, which is the most effective of all, only has a 50% success rate of improvement, not of elimination. And that we know these are chronic illnesses. Neuropathy, 1 out of 5 Americans will experience neuropathy. Disc problems, go online and look at, failed back surgery syndrome. This is an amazing time, and it's an amazing thing. And what I'm saying is, this is a great time for chiropractic. I mean, do you know that people that are 80 to 84 years old take 18 prescription medications a day? 18. So, you know, we have to realize that we're part of the healthcare industry, and healthcare industry is a $1 trillion industry, and we probably offer the only non-surgical solution. The only non-surgical solution. And I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to say this at the event. I used to say in practice, Perry heard me say this so many times, he's sick of hearing it. I say to my patients, the difference between major and minor surgery is minor surgery happens to somebody else. Well, guess what? Recently, I had surgery. I had my gallbladder removed. Anybody, they say, oh, don't worry, you don't need your gallbladder. Well, who the hell are they? Are you kidding? I want my gallbladder back. I would pay to have my gallbladder back. So you can imagine Tiger Woods, who's had 4 back surgeries. What is he saying now? When I spoke to one of his representatives, the key person, he said, oh, I wish we knew about decompression sooner. You know what? When I walk around the campus of Trump, they don't say there's the chiropractor. They say there's the disc specialist. When I look at Rich Law, I say there's the disc specialist. I don't care about his haircut. I don't care that he has better hair than me. I don't care that he has 12 decompression tables. What I care about is his love. Every time we do a video, he says, oh, send it to me. I want to send it to my parents. I mean, this is a guy that loves what he does. He overpays his staff. He's the most loving, giving guy in the world. And I'm so proud and honored, you know, to be in association with him and Perry, who spends, I can't tell you how many hours putting the Zoom thing together, of which we're selling nothing. But one thing, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm selling chiropractic. Chiropractors are scared. Well, you know what? This is how you undo the fear. Oh, I have no fever, so I can continue the meeting. I'm not in a problem. I can go on. That's all it takes. I met with my internist. He came to my house for dinner last week. And I said, Dennis, aren't you scared? He said, no. We check their temperature. We do what we have to do. We keep the rooms clean. And that's the way it is because I'm a doctor. And that's my life. And here's a guy, Dennis Agito, who, Jason, you know. I mean, he says, you know what? Where do people go when the pain won't go? And here's what I'm asking you doctors tonight. Where do they go when the pain won't go away? So, you know, I'm looking at, you know, when we look at the trilogy of Facebook, we look at the trilogy of the webpage, and we're going to go over some of these things tonight in detail before Rich comes on and gives you magic of an unbelievable thing, of an unbelievable guy who came, like I said, like the Wizard of Oz, Decatur, Illinois. And listen, the big restaurants there. Well, listen, let's say, I think one night we went to the Olive Garden. One night we went to Red Lobster, and it was pretty goddamn good. But you know what? That's the world. And he has 12 tables. He's not Eli. He's not in Dade or Broward County. He's in Decatur, Illinois, but he loves what he does. He loves it. Perry, take over, baby. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want.
Well, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to speak a little bit about, and I'll show with you what we're going to do before I get a chance tonight to actually introduce the incredible Dr. Richard Law, and you will see why here tonight. We don't use that word lightly. Before I get a chance to introduce him to everybody here tonight, I'd like to do one thing. And what I'd like to do, Dr. K, is I'd like you to actually explain a little bit, if you could, about what you sent me this week with respect to lead generation and highest percentage of close rate with respect to the simple fact that in essence, as we always say, the heavy lifting's already been done. So what I want to do is I want to show my screen, and there's actually 3 things that I want to show everybody who's hanging out with us here tonight on Thursday Night Live, the new addiction for so many chiropractors. We're having fun, and listen, that's why we're in this thing at this phase of our life and this phase of this journey, obviously. Let's make sure you can see it. Hey, who's that handsome guy there? Oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know, the reason that circle is around that girl is that's my wife, who I happened to meet at Dr. Kaplan's office so many years ago with that cute little hairdo. Isn't that kind of cool? It's a great day. Let me tell you why. Because believe it or not, today's our son's birthday. Today, who would have thought our oldest boy's birthday today? And none of this happens. None of it. none of it, unless I get a chance to come into the universe of Dr. K, who invited me in open arms, and it just kept getting bigger, better, and more. What we call BBM. So what I want to do is I want to show 3 slides here tonight specific to lead generation, and we're going to get into marketing. And if you were here with us last week, you remember last week we showed this, that there was 4 seats left. If you were with us Thursday Night Live, and then during the Thursday Night Live, I think 1 of 2 of them were gone, and as we expected, obviously, as you probably know, May 30th is the date. Game changer, life changer for so many doctors who were so fortunate to grab a seat here. And the reality is, as we expected, that now it is 100% completely sold out. So we're so appreciative to you doctors that were fortunate enough to secure seats. You guys are in for such an amazing day. You're going to be blown away. Wait, when you see the volume of materials and all the new things that we go over on that day in the most 5-star location, you guys, congratulations on securing a seat. I apologize to anybody else who kind of sat on the sidelines, but it is 100% sold out. And we're excited to see you guys on May 30th. So congratulations on that. The only suggestion we can give you is this. They did start a wait list. Now, the last 2 times we did a wait list, unfortunately, the doctors were not able to get in. However, this time, because of the size of the room, we moved into a bigger room, there is a greater than 50% chance that at least some of the doctors on the wait list will get an opportunity to secure a seat. And you know what's so cool? You know what I love is that now you can basically go online, buy an airline ticket for nothing, and get down here within the week. So if you're given notice that you were able to secure a seat. Now, if you want to know how to get on the wait list, it's really simple. Go to www.thecairoevent.com and just fill out the form. And it's that simple. Go there, fill out the entire form, and you will be told whether you made it on the wait list or there's another option for you. So what I wanted to talk about was this, Dr. K, there's actually 3 slides we wanted to share. And this, if you'll notice something, you'll notice that we always put a lot of emphasis on a patient's first intake with you doctors. Now, what I mean by that is this, as you know, 80% of your patients are going to kick your tires. And the way they're going to kick your tires is they're going to come to your website. Now, if your website is a chiropractic only site that has some spinal decompression information on it, trust me, unfortunately, you're going to suffer from the 3 Ds. And the 3 Ds are your website is going to dilute your message. Your website will deny them care because they're going to go someplace else. And the reality is it will delay them from actually seeing you in some which way, shape, or form, because they're going to say, well, you know what? I like chiropractors. I went to a chiropractor before, but I just had an MRI. And they're telling me I have 2 disc herniations. And they're telling me that I am looking at an epidural injection, and or possibly, if that doesn't work, I'm looking at a more invasive procedure. I like chiropractors, but they're telling me this is beyond a chiropractic situation. So Dr. K, would you be so kind as to jump back in and speak about the 3 forms that are used specifically on the official Disc Centers of America site? Doctors, you're going to learn here tonight how we secure a lead, how we basically start to put them through our funnel, if you will, and how we do the heavy lifting up front. Can you share a little bit about this form, which specifically you wanted to key into tonight?
Without a doubt, Dr. B. I will tell you, that the loves of my life are my wife, my children, and my adopted brother, Perry Bard. And, the beautiful thing about working with Perry is I always consider Perry to be my muse. We ham and egg every week. But we talk about how do we make it better, meaning not to create the wheel, but to maybe add a new spoke. The wheel started as a wooden wheel. And now we talk about it. So, what I did, and one of the things I'm most proud of is Jason and Stephanie, who are here tonight, okay? you know, in his first 3 years of practice, he got 3 decompression tables. And if I ever can get him to get rid of his kitchen, we'll probably have a 4th because he stays that busy prior to the pandemic. And I'm sure he's smiling right now because he knows how I feel. But what we do is, if I go back to the trilogy of Facebook, the website, people see you. People see you. Matter of fact, Jason, we do a lot of television on cable, and we get spots, $5 to $10 a spot. Everything is disc oriented. But remember this, when people have a disc problem, they don't necessarily type in on Google while they're sitting home through the pandemic and they say chiropractor. They type in disc. So we recommend to our clients that they have a separate disc site. Perry, can you go back to the one before that? So what happens is this, we have lead generation. Eli, we call this target marketing, and this is what you're gonna love. What was your source of pain? Lower back, herniated disc. Now watch this. The fact that he said herniated disc, who diagnosed it? Well, let's go to the next line. He's been to a chiropractor. It didn't work. Then he went for pain management. It didn't work.
This is actually, just so you know, docs, this is actually an intake form. This is the actual intake form of the patient this week that was sent us. This is just one of many, but Dr. K wanted to isolate this, and you'll see why.
No, because I sent my son, go back one more, Perry. I sent Jason a message when I reviewed this, because I reviewed the boy. I said, Jason, you got to close this one. This one's a slam dunk. Why? He's had the problem more than a year. Opioid pain medication, non-steroidal and other drugs. Let's go to the next line. So here's a person who knows he has a herniated disc, been everywhere. How did the pain begin? Just began, and that's what happened. Check the following test. You've had an MRI, you've had an X-ray. Have you had any surgeries related to your existing pain? Yes. Jason has told me many times, 30% of his practice as people that have had surgery. Well, just look up failed back surgery syndrome. Tiger Woods, 4 back surgery. And it's not that he couldn't get the best. If you had any of the following, listen, he said joint injections, trigger point injections, nerve block. This is what this pain does. Do you have any type of health medical insurance? Yes. How serious is your condition? Very bad. Fell, my femur bone, shredded, unable to repair all metal. So you know what? Why did she fall? Probably had neuropathy as well. 22 million Americans have neuropathy, 1 in 5 people. And Rich will talk about it. Many of his cases are decompression and neuropathy, and they pay cash. What's the best time to contact you? I mean, you can go on and on and on, but I'm going to tell you, this is a decompression person. They fell, they have neuropathy, they need decompression. It's just being confident in yourself as a doctor. And this came in this week. This was not last week. This was this week. And we do this through the website because we have a survey on the website that they can fill it out. My belief is this, Rich, listen to this. We get leads by Facebook, but anyone that goes, they see you on Facebook, but you know what? That's not enough in today's world. Then they go onto your website. They say, who the heck is this guy? Let me check him out further. Now they go to your website. We have probably the best website in America. You know, we have more real estate on the internet probably than anybody. Okay, we have videos, we have television, we're always adding. We have professional athletes. We're gonna add other professional athletes. We have professional golfers. We're gonna add. This is what we do because the brand, doctors, this Centers of America, the brand is bigger than the product. People do not say, oh, I have a disc problem. I'm gonna go to a chiropractor. You saw it. They get injections. They go to surgery, but you know what? It doesn't work. Epidural surgery, epidural injections are not even FDA approved for back pain. Are you kidding me? There's a book out that I recommend to everybody, and the book is called Crooked. And the book is by Catherine Jacobson Rahman. And the book talks about all the problems with surgery, how the screws that they put in are unbelievable. And it goes into Deo from Washington. It goes into all the leading surgeons and how it's a money-making business. Surgery is a moneymaker. So you know what? When I came out of chiropractic school, it was, oh, chiropractic versus medical doctors. Well, you know what? No. We need medical doctors now more than ever. But I'm going to tell you what we don't need is back surgery because back surgery is proven to be ineffective. Just go online and look at failed back surgery syndrome. You know, the U.S. consumes 75% of all the medications in the United States. That means that all the people that are coming to your office are taking drugs. So one of the things that you should be doing in a consultation, what drugs are you taking? Dig deeper. My goal has always been be a better doctor, than you are a patient. Do you have any type of health and medical insurance? Yes. I mean, Thursday Night Live, special guests. You know, I hope that's Rich Lore, because, you know, if I tell you a person that's committed to making a change, to adding to the paradigm of getting people well, and I'm going to tell you, he makes a lot of money, but he doesn't do it for the money. Rich Lore, I think, Rich, you'll tell me, I think your father's a chiropractor, your brother's a chiropractor. I mean, he has more chiropractors in his family than BJ Palmer. I mean, listen, it's unbelievable. And you know, he loves what he does. I sometimes have to say, Richie, spend some money on yourself. I yell at him, you know, and he knows he hates me sometimes because I'm like a father to him. You know, well, big brother, I'm too young to be his father, right? But I push him because he gives, he's a giver. Winston Churchill said, you make a living by what you get, you make a life by what you give. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know anybody that gives more than Richard. And you know what? We created, even in video, a pre-report video. Why? Because the brand is bigger than the product, so they can watch the pre-report video. Rich will tell you, his reports don't take an hour anymore. You need to be educated, not selling. Our doctors sell. We create a package where they present, where they package it, where they implement it. And I'm going to tell you, if you're in a report for more than 15, 20 minutes, you're selling. You need to know when you walk in the room what you're doing and what you're doing, and if you're selling or not. And Rich will talk about this in detail, because Rich has a great closing rate. And hold on, and don't tell me that, oh, I don't take Medicare patients, because Rich will tell you a big part of his practice, a big part of the 12 tables is Medicare. When you come to the event, we will show you some videos. Perry has a time-slated video of Rich's office where the table goes up, table goes down, table goes up, table goes down. He sends me texts sometimes. I already closed like 5 cases today. And you know what? He does it with passion. He does it with purpose. He does it with perseverance. He's a very special guy. I admire him. I dig him the most because of his love and passion for chiropractic. Perry.
So this is really the moment we've been waiting for. And the reason it's the moment we've been waiting for is actually for a few reasons. And the reason why is because that you're about to learn a few things here. Number one, that this is a doctor that was really cut from a different mold. The Huntington thing, I don't know why that's still in there. That's actually from Scott Banks. So just so you know, that was from last week. So actually it is Dr. Will, who is the director of the Decatur Centers of America, which became actually the National Training Center for Doctors. And you're about to see why. One of the reasons why is because he didn't just fall into this. This was really a dream. This was really a desire. This was really a destination. Notice how those all begin with the letter D. But the reality is, just like doctor of chiropractic. You see how that DC, just like when we always say, DC stands for decompression chiropractor. So if there was ever a decompression chiropractor that was really, really cut from a different cloth, it's Dr. Rich Lore. Now, one of the cool things this week is actually this past week, as many of you know, I don't know if you guys actually know this, but we created, about 2 years ago, we created a podcast, which became a radio show, which became a book, known as the Doctor Success Spotlight book. And we featured the most successful chiropractors on the planet. Well, one of those chiropractors, and he has a whole chapter on this, is Dr. Rich Lore. Well, guess what? We included him now in our brand new TV show. We actually filmed a TV show with Dr. Rich Lore, and he was a spectacular guest. And he shared a lot of golden nuggets, and the show will be released shortly. And he did such a spectacular job. And we want you guys to definitely look for it, because it is actually worth watching, no question about it. And one of the things that we got a chance to do was we actually got a chance to actually show videos of his clinic as well. And to understand that this is a clinic that is more than just the amount of tables, is really hitting on all cylinders. It is a clinic that really checks all the boxes. It is a clinic that is really an above down, inside out clinic for all the right reasons. But as a spinal disc go-to center, he gets the toughest cases. He gets people to cross state lines. His commitment to excellence is unmatched. What an honor it really is for us tonight to have the incredible Dr. Rich Lohr with us. Dr. Lohr, welcome to the party. Let me make sure we can't hear you. Let me see. Is your you might have to unmute yourself. Let me see here. You're unmuted from us, just so you know. Can't hear you. Check your audio. Check your audio. You may have to switch it out for now, and so play with it a little bit, because once you start talking, you'll actually come in, and so you're unmuted from us, just so you know. So it's definitely on your end.
Upper right-hand corner, Rich.
Play with it a
Look
little
in the
bit.
upper right-hand corner, and we'll figure this out.
Don't worry, we'll
And
get you.
welcome back.
You're unmuted from our end, just so you know. And no, we can't hear you. I know. It's crazy, right? I know.
So I'm going to talk while Rich is.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
you
going to talk
for a little bit.
Rich.
Sure.
I'm going to talk, Richie, while you're figuring this out. So first, Rich, look in the upper right-hand corner, and it should have like a thing and mute and unmute, and you probably muted yourself. So you need to go tap in the upper right-hand corner and unmute yourself. And once you do, and listen, I've struggled with this as well, so don't worry. And if for any reason, Rich, we have a problem, guess what? You'll be back next week, because we're Zooming in the world here, and we'll figure out if we have to do a dress rehearsal. Did we get you, Rich? Not yet. Perry's probably calling you now, but it's okay. I'll talk about you then. But we're going to get you. You know, it's an amazing thing that we have in chiropractic. And Richie, you just keep talking and keep playing with it, and you'll figure it out as we go along. He said it might be your microphone, Rich, so check your microphone. If you're doing it through the computer, there you go, baby. Come on, man. You can listen. A guy who has 12 tables can figure this out. Not yet. And we don't read lips yet, so that's not the portion that we have. But you look marvelous. I'm going to tell you, you look so good tonight. I'm going to tell you, the president wants to come in and say hello. Rich, it's so good to see you tonight. You look fantastic. Get your goddamn voice going, for God's sake. Figure this out. Thank you, President. I know you have a lot to do tonight. Listen, I have Mark Wahlberg here, which is unbelievable. James Cronin with his little baby. Good for you, James. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Perry talks about the event being closed out. Perry, I haven't even told this to Perry yet. He's out of the room. I can talk about him now. We're probably going to do another one in June, because we've been so hot. And I'll tell you why. We teach you how to make money without being dependent on personal injury. Listen, regular insurance, when I was talking to one of my former classmates this week, I'm not going to mention his name. His initials are EG, but I'm not going to mention his name, EG. But the point is, he was saying, I'm seeing over 500 people a week, and I'm not making the money I used to make. And I'm going to tell you, that's the problem. Rich, you figuring this out? You got it? Keep going, baby. Keep working. Look at the computer. Look at your microphone. Call Jason. Let me tell you Jason's number. 561-310-8587. Jason, I guarantee you can talk you through this. Jason's part of our team. 561-Rich, 310-8587. Call Jason up. He'll help you figure this out on the phone. Why? Perry's back, thank God in heaven. It's an amazing thing, what we do.
All right, so
Jason,
why don't we do this? All right, what I'd like to, one of the cool things is I just got an email from one of our docs who actually happens to be on here. I'm looking at him right now. And this is actually the first, believe it or not, this is the first Thursday Night Live we've ever done where we have not one, but two Dr. Jensens with us. One of them is part of our family. Great to see you, Dr. Steve. And thanks for sending it in. So on my fancy phone, yes, it is a BlackBerry flip phone. I know for those of you who think that that I wasn't retro, I really am. So thank you for sending it. So what I'm going to do is, Dr. K, how would you answer this question? We can do a little Q&A tonight, all right? Because this is a question that I promise there are doctors on here tonight that would love to know the answer to this. And Dr. Steve Jensen from Wilmington asked this question. Dr. Kaplan, how do you respond when a prospective decompression patient asks, if this works so well, how come I have not heard about it before, or why aren't there more doctors offering it? Great question. Dr. K, you want to tackle that, baby?
It is a great question. And the bottom line is, believe it or not, Dr. Jensen, who I nickname as Jensen Beach after a portion of Florida, because many people do not do their homework. They do not read about it. They do not study it. Listen, decompression was developed by Dr. Alan Dyer, who was not only the Minister of Healthcare in the country of Canada, okay, he also was the developer of the defibrillator. I mean, this is an amazing thing. So when people say they don't know about it, say, well, let me explain to you something. The protocols that we teach, so you know this, doctors, at this Centers of America, I've had the pleasure, the opportunity, the privilege of not only speaking to Dr. Dyer in person and getting him to be the honorary chairman of the International Disc Education Association, because he said, I've never seen a chiropractor that have done more for decompression than you and Dr. Bard have. Now, for Dr. Dyer to say that to myself and Dr. Bard, okay, and I'm not bragging now, I'm not bragging, but for him to say that about us, what an honor. And the other person I had to personally work with is Dr. Norman Shilley. Now, let's talk about Norman Shilley. Norman Shilley, okay, who graduated Duke University Medical School, taught at Harvard University for many, many years, Harvard Medical School. He is the most published in the world on spinal decompression. All my clients know, all my doctors know, when we come to decompression, we provide medical research. And I'm not saying anything bad about Sherman. I'm not saying anything bad about Life or Parker National, because Perry and I lectured all of those. But the point is, when it comes to research on decompression, I utilize medical research, and we package it, and we present it. And believe it or not, the printer that we utilize is out of Decatur, Illinois, which is like, you talk about karma. So, hopefully, Rich, you and Jason are figuring this out, but I got plenty of material, so I'm going to keep going. So the point that I'm going to say to you is, Dr. Jensen, if they say that, say it's not what you didn't know where to look. Say, but I'm going to tell you this, most people that had failed back surgery didn't know that surgery is not effective. How many doctors on this call that have not been a client of mine knew that epidurals are not FDA approved for back pain? I mean, that was, when I read that, when I gave that, what if I tell you, I gave that to my medical doctor, my friend. I gave that even to my neuroradiologist. They were stunned. They both said, I didn't know that. Well, you know what? People are not educated. It's our job to educate them. And we do that through the trilogy. We do that through Facebook. We do that through the webpage. We do that through television. Okay? And it's very funny. So when you saw the patient, and Jason texted me while we were talking, that patient actually booked an appointment for him. So that person will come in, Jason will close them. So that's an amazing thing of what we do in our web that we give to our clients. I mean, what do you want? Eli, what do you want? The point is, whatever you want, listen, if I learned anything from Perry, okay, Perry does not use the word no. He doesn't know the word no. Perry's, if you had to say he's a yes man, Perry's the yes man. What do you need? Yes, I'll do it. What do you need? Yes, I'll do it. And we as doctors have to become yes men. We have to find out what the problem is. We have to find out what the solution is. We have to find out how to take care of the patients. We have to find out how to provide a better and higher level of care. Because as you saw in that report that Perry showed you, they've been to orthopedic surgeons. Let me explain something. Every time a patient comes into your office, the following questions are asked. Have you ever had x-rays or MRIs? If the answer is yes, it means they're coming to you for a second or a third opinion. They've had problems, and now they're coming to you. They're coming to you because they haven't been able to figure out what the problem is. They're coming to you because they need help. Now, I'm going to tell you this. In every report of findings that you do, a close is made. A sale is made. Either they buy what you're selling or you buy their excuse. Now, Lori, I see that you got a haircut. You look beautiful as always. The point that I'm saying to you, Sonny, in North Carolina, okay, and you know, I'm going through the list today. Jensen Beach, Lesagio, baby. Looking, this is coach. You better smile, you big guy. I'll smack you in the head. Mark Lesagio, the king of knees. Okay, out there doing it. Look who's here, John Ziliax, Steve Thane. I mean, Steven, who knows more about this than you? Steve actually closed a bunch of cases this week. I can't see his picture. And look at Ziliax. John, did you get a haircut? Shake your head. You look so good, John. I'm telling you. And John, I didn't know you wore glasses. Look how good you look. John, some people get better looking with age. You're one of those people, John. I don't know how you do it. Lori, did you get a haircut? Shake your head. Or did you cut your own hair? You having a little bun in the back? Good for you. Look at Steve Thane. Steve, I've never seen your hair that long. Lesagio, I've never seen your hair that long. I mean, Mark, it's unbelievable how you let it grow during this thing. I mean, Bruce Burns from New York, you know, and Bruce is good. Bridget Rosenberg. And, you know, when we talk about Bridget, we talk about all the things that we can do in our package. So Bridget developed mineralgia, and she was lovely enough to offer free supplies to Roy Ostenstein and his wife, Li Hao Ma, Fei Chung Hao Peng Yo. I mean, the point is that it's amazing what you can do if you study. You know, when I spoke to Tom Ferrigno this week out of California, who's closing cases, Tom actually caught the coronavirus on a cruise ship, yet was never intubated. He's back in practice. Mike Smith, I had to talk with Mike this week. Oh my God, he was so depressed. He only had 87 new patients. He was hoping for 100 again. 87 new patients. Why? Because Mike Smith is out drilling it and educating people. You see, that's what we need to do. Dr. Peduzzi, you know this. I mean, you know, and that's what we try to do is to educate people on a higher level, to educate them on discs, so that you have what we call target marketing, so that your marketing is specific for decompression. And again, we do that through the trilogy. We do that through decompression. We do that through the website. We do that through all the things that we do, knowing that disc problems will not go away. The coronavirus will resolve itself over time. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to take time. So you can sit back. There are three types of people. I've always said this: those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that say what happened. So Perry, while you were out of the room helping Richard, I didn't even tell you this, we're probably going to open up another event in June. So we haven't discussed it yet, but the point is we have such a waiting list. I don't want to say no to doctors that want to be seen, but hold on. Let me be specific. This is not for the weak. Don't come in and kick my tires. I'll kick your tires. This is for those that are willing to get in the game and make a difference. These are for those that want to go out there and help people. These are for those, listen, will you make money? You bet. Will you help people? Without a doubt. So there's so much we can do. So what we want to do is, yes, there's a waiting list. Will we do it in June? I don't know, but the waiting list keeps growing. And I'm going to tell you what we need to do, doctors. I'm going to ask you a question. Are you happy with your practice? Have you felt the pain of the time? Are you ready for a change in the dynamics of your practice? Are you ready, as Perry would say all the time to me, are you ready to be a specialist? Are you a chiropractor in chiropractic? Or are you a chiropractor that's specializing in decompression? As Perry taught me, DC stands for decompression chiropractor. Why is it that someone like Richard Lohr, who's eventually going to figure this out, or Richard, don't even get nervous because we'll have you back next week. And I'll give you even a better introduction. So we'll figure this out. And I see Jason working with you like a dog. So the point is, you know, Dr. Jensen asked a good question. Kurt, you asked a good question. But here's what I'm saying to you, doctors. Do you have a decompression website? If the answer is no, you're not marketing decompression. Our doctors do Facebook, they do television. You know, the beautiful thing about being at Nutrisystem, I learned the power of the brand. They never called up and said, how's the food? They wanted to know with the results. With decompression, it's the same thing. So when I look at an intake form, like Jason got through the website, guess what? We found out the person saw him on Facebook. They went from Facebook to the website. From the website, they call the office, and the office, they come in. And I know my son. You know, Jason, listen, if they have a disc problem, he's going to close them. So Jason will close that patient. Why? They're in pain. If you look at, she did opioids, she's had injections. When someone doesn't know where to go, doctors, this is your chance. This is your opportunity. This is your chance for everything that you dreamed of. Listen, I said it last week, and I'll say it again. I never wanted to be a salesman. I could have gone to Wall Street, and I could have made a lot of money. I could have sold stocks and bonds. But you know what? I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to help people. I wanted to make a difference in lives. And that's why I'm soon to be 68 years old, and I continue to do this. Why? Because I'm here to make a difference. Why? Because I'm doing it. And Perry will talk about it later. And guess what? I have another book coming out, The 1 Minute Motivator. You know, my first book was the #1 bestseller for 6 weeks, was The 5 Minute Motivator. So why people ask me, did I write The 1 Minute Motivator? It's for people that don't have 5 minutes. If you don't have 5 minutes, I'll give it to you in a minute. The point is, you can be vincible or invincible. You could be a hero or a zero. You could be a winner or a whiner. I mean, the bottom line is, you have to see it. What if the Wright brothers were scared to fly? What if Columbus didn't want to sail? What if Galileo was scared of the night? The point is, doctors, what are you scared of? Are you scared that people won't pay you? They will, if you're good at what you do. Scared that chiropractic is going to go away? It's not going away. We will get bigger. We will get better. We will get stronger. But here's what I'm going to say to you. Why be a dentist if I can make you an orthodontist? So let me tell you something. If you're not registered for the event, get on it. If I get enough names on the website, I'll open one up in June. But I'm going to tell you, let's get on the waiting list now. Let's get on it. Get yourself down here. Why? Not to make more money, and you will. Matter of fact, Perry and I are the only consulting group in the world that we put in writing that you will get all your money back, or I'll stay with you till you do. Well, guess what? No one has implemented it. I look at someone like Rich Law, who'll be on tonight or next week, whatever we can figure out. I know him and Jason are working on. Listen, he's like on his 3rd contract. I look at so many people here. Dan, I think you're on your 2nd contract. I look at Osagio. Why do people resign with us? Why? Because we make a difference in their lives. Because we make a difference. We make the good great. Listen, the enemy of great is good. It's not good anymore to be good enough. You got to be great. And we as chiropractors should be the leaders when it comes to disc injuries. Why? Because we offer the only non-invasive resolution without drugs or surgery. So I'm excited about what the future is for chiropractic. I'm excited about what the future is for decompression. When I see things like that you sent me today, Kurt, when I see MRIs like that, and I know what I say to you, Kurt, you've studied this. You've been nationally certified. You know what you're doing. You're a member of the IDEA. Why join the IDEA? Call Dr. Barta. $179, 100% of the money, it's not profit. 100% of the money goes to research. Why? Because it's ongoing. We are doing research, Perry and I. We talk about it every day of every week. We're talking about every day of every week. I'm so proud of Dr. Perry Bard and how hard he works to put these meetings together. I mean, this is something that we do for clients, for non-clients. And I say to everybody this week, invite one friend next week. And Zoom limits it, but the beautiful thing about Perry Bard is when tonight ends, he sends it out to other people. But you know what? Live is the best. Nothing better than being live, to seeing the problems, the situations, and all the things that we do. I mean, as I go through the list and I see Dr. McCabe you know, and I see you and I see Bruce Burns. Laura, you let your hair down. Good for you, baby. Mark, you let your hair down too. Good for you, brother. You know, when I look at these things, Leo, you know I love you. Joe Keeler. Imagine a guy like Joe Keeler who's on this tonight. Joe Keeler was a UFA fighter, and now he's fighting the world of surgery. Imagine, here's a guy that's done it. David and Hallie. David, I know you for so many years. Kernhead, what's happening, baby? The point is, doctors, how committed are you? You know, do you see the future? Let me tell you something. You know, I'm a very superstitious guy, so hold on. I brought with me something I had last week, Magic 8 Ball. What is the future of chiropractic? Hold on, I gotta read it. Ooh, the future of chiropractic is good. It's good. The future of chiropractic can be strong. The question that I say to you doctors is this: what do you want and what price are you willing to pay? And that's the common denominator. What do you want and what price are you willing to pay? Perry.
So what we're going to do here tonight.
You're on, baby.
Thanks.
Dr. Perry Ball.
So what we're going to do here tonight is for you guys that hung out with us here tonight, we're going to do something incredible for you. Incredible. And I'll prove it to you here right now. What we're going to do is we're not going to post this video. Instead, what we're going to do is this. We're going to make everybody who's here tonight, everybody, we're going to give you something that's going to knock your socks off. And it's awesome for hanging out with us here tonight. And we wanted to do, listen, the secret, you want to know what the secret is? The secret is, right? Can you see that? That all roads lead. And the reality is this, that there is an order to success. Sometimes you've heard me say, if you've come to a boot camp, I'll always say that there's a math to success. Well, as time has gone on, we've kind of modified that a little bit, and we talk about that there's an order to success. Now, if you're sitting home and you're watching, you go, wait a minute, hold on. What the heck is this boot camp thing? Well, we don't promote it. We don't advertise it because it's private and it's exclusive to Disc Centers of America doctors. So the day before May 30th is an exclusive training for Disc Centers of America doctors where they actually come in the day before and they learn about the packaging of spinal decompression. They learn about the communication skills. They learn about the bridge. They learn about how to overcome objections. They learn about all the materials. They learn about the financial and so much more. And especially my favorite, which is the marketing. Heck yeah, you know that. And we'll talk about that. There's an order. So what we do at boot camp is we talk about, this is what you do first. This is what you do second. This is what you do third. And we make it simple, we make it easy, and we make it very direct. So there's ways to learn here. And what I want to do is I want to share with you for hanging out with us here tonight. Now, if you bolt, obviously, then you're not going to learn how to get access to this. So I'm going to suggest that if you come this far with us here tonight, hang out with us a little bit longer and we'll knock your socks off tonight. Deal? Shake your head if it's a deal. Dr. McCabe, it's a deal, brother. It's a deal. Dr. Chris, it's a deal. You bet. You hung out with us, our family of doctors, because you might say, well, gee, how does he know all these doctors? Well, the reason why is because these are concierge coaches doctors. They're part of our circle of greatness here. So I want to show you just a couple of things here. And one of the things Dr. Law was actually going to talk about tonight, and I'll get a chance to talk about it, is this. And that is that there's actually a private event that's coming up in the month of August. Now, what Dr. Law is doing is on August 1st, He's doing a special in-office training where he reveals what we call the special sauce. And when I say the special sauce, meaning everything in a live dynamic, this is a hands-on training. This training has only been given one time before, and it was given 2 years ago, and it was completely sold out. This one too, obviously will sell out. As we speak right now, there are a few seats left. It is exclusive to Disc Centers of America doctors only, but it will be, without question, the single greatest day of hands-on training in an office where you will walk out with materials that are actually created just for that day in terms of how to present, how to package, how to overcome objections, how to do the financials. And one of the things that I love about it is how his staff completely takes over. It is a day of really inner secrets, if you will, as to how the world of spinal decompression is, without question, really the best kept secret in chiropractic, which the truth is, it's not so much of a secret. We did a survey last year and we found that over 60% of clinics, this is an amazing statistic, over 60% of clinics had a spinal decompression table. Now, it didn't make a difference whether it's an AcuSpina, it didn't make a difference whether it's a VaxD, it didn't make a difference whether it's a DRX, a Hill, a Triton DTS, a Spine Med. It really didn't make a difference. The reality was that there are doctors that are in the spinal decompression business. They just don't know it yet. In other words, they just don't know how to position it, how to market it, how to expand it in terms of positioning themselves correctly. And so we're so excited. I got to tell you, it was a closed door meeting. I never saw so many. Hey, Dr. Thane, very cool. Sunny day in Seattle. You were there, brother. Very cool. There's Dr. Troy Dreiling, Dr. Gary Edwards from Hoover, Alabama, Dr. Al Barthen, Dr. Joe Kirk. I mean, look at you guys. Some incredible, Dr. Joe Mascaro. I mean, this is our family. Dr. Mike Putman, Dr. Steve Balistracci. I mean, this is family. It's coming up on August 1st. There are a few seats left as we speak. Trust me, it will sell out just like the Cairo event. And what we wanted to do here tonight for you guys and you gals is we wanted to do something incredibly special. And that was simply this. We created a series of videos, and the videos are known as the 3 C's of spinal decompression. And what these videos basically are 4 videos that allowed us in a very direct way. Now, these are not long, drawn out videos. These are very direct, they're to the point. And we started with the first one. And the first one was what we call the capture. When we say the capture, what we're talking about is how did they find you? How were they marketed into your practice? How did they discover you? And we talk about that in terms of how to create the best capture, because we always talk about the heavy lifting. Now, you're talking about cases here. For those who are not privy, not aware, new to the game, it's cool, man. It is. It's cool in that sense because everybody's got to learn at some point. The average case for spinal decompression cases in the country is anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000 per case, with the median approximately $4,500 to $5,000 per case. Now, think about this for a second. In other words, if your average chiropractic case for chiropractic services only is approximately $1,200, approximately, then by really going into the decompression business, you've already not just doubled your practice, you've not tripled your practice, you've literally quadrupled your practice. In other words, take your existing practice right now and cut it by 75%, and you'll make the same amount of money. Can we talk money tonight? Is it cool if we talk money tonight? Heck, This is a business meeting. What the heck? Let's talk money tonight. And the reality is these are a majority of prepay cases. If you're using the right forms that are compliant, obviously, our forms are 100%. And they're forms that don't give too many choices, because remember, if you give too many choices, it gets confusing. What's the right amount of choices? 3. 3 is the magic number in terms of choices. Well, from there, after we did the capture, what happened after that? We went into the conversion. In other words, what happens now that they're in your office? What are you going to do for them? How are you going to educate them? How far along the scale on a 1 to 10 basis? Meaning, are they a 1, meaning they have no clue you existed, they don't know, they're skeptical, they're not sure, they're being told that they need to take more Vicodin, more Percocet, more Tramadol, they're being told that you should start considering an epidural injection, and if that doesn't work, you better schedule for surgery? Or are they more like the lead form that Dr. Kaplan showed before, which is closer to an 8 or a 9 or a 10? In other words, they're there. The only thing you can literally do is talk them out of treatment. They're ready to whip out a credit card. They're ready to whip out a check. They're ready to pay you. They're ready to get financing. They're ready right then and there. And we talk about the conversion. Well, after the conversion, what happens is the close. And the close really is the financial aspect of it. The conversion is really the education to the point where you swing the pendulum to the point where now they are no longer the shopper. You, doctor, are the shopper. In other words, you're shopping them whether they could be accepted or not in your world. What an interesting dynamic in terms of taking the leverage away from their position to be able to now raise the importance, raise the urgency, raise the scarcity, and raise the timing of taking action right here, right now. And then just for fun, what Dr. Kaplan did was he actually did a little bonus video at the end, which was really cool. Now, if you're wondering, how do you get your hands on these videos? Well, what we did, believe it or not, was we posted all of these on one site, and it is a private link that if you are a concierge coach's doctor, if you are a This Centers of America doctor, then you know what to do. Send us an email at newpatientnow@aol.com, and we will send you the private link to these 4 videos that you could start watching right away. And, listen, if you walk away with 1 great thing, it's powerful. If you walk away with 5 great things, it's even more powerful. And it was just something that we decided to do for you guys to make it special for tonight. And the access is, in essence, that, as we said, that we're only making this if you're on with us here tonight live. So obviously this video will not be posted. This is just for you guys here. And the email is newpatientnow@aol.com. As we mentioned before, and congratulations, Dr. Karen, incredible. We're going to bat for you. It is sold out, but during this meeting, Dr. Karen Sackstein from Oceanside, I want to say, Long Island, secured a seat on the wait list. And I promise you with all my heart, we will do everything possible to make sure that you can come off the wait list and to get on a reserved seat. That I promise you. It was a lot of fun talking to you this week for all those reasons and more. Our recommendation is join the wait list.
Hey, Dr. Bard.
If you're sitting there and you're thinking about, is that Dr. Lore? Did Dr. Lore come on? No way. I did hear somebody.
Dr. Bard, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I think Jason finally.
I can't see you.
Can you hear me? Jason finally got us in. You just can't see me,
but we can hear you. But wait a minute. No, you're there.
It's even better that way. My hair.
Just hit
Move over a little bit. Holy cow! Wait a minute. Stop the presses. Holy cow!
Can you see me now?
Let's see. Where are you? No, we can't see you, but we can hear you.
Now, all you have to do is hit start video. So click on the bottom and hit start video.
Hang on, Jason. Yep. Jason me through this for the last hour.
Wow.
All I can see is
Well,
stop
for those
video,
who
Jason.
hung with us tonight, the party is just getting started. Welcome. Well,
It's
hey,
an hour
listen,
past my
they
bedtime.
always say that good things are worth waiting for.
Perfect. It's working
And
perfect.
This is fantastic. You're here, and
Jason.
hey, listen. It's kind. You know what it's like? It's kind of like waiting for like the Rolling Stones or Led Zeppelin or your favorite group, which is Billy Dan, of course, to come out and finally they hit the stage.
Yes.
The show, my friend, is yours, Dr. Lore.
Finally.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, share with us a little bit here. Let me see here. We're going to spotlight you here. So talk a little bit, if we can bring you up. There you are, my man. All right, you're spotlighted tonight. And as I mentioned before, Dr. Lore is a doctor that is probably one of the most, I would say, one of the most, I guess you would say, desired doctors in the country to speak to. In other words, he gets more requests from doctors to learn about his special sauce. So what we're going to do here tonight is, Dr. Lore, we're going right into the main event here tonight. What we would love for you to do is share a little bit about, I want to play a game tonight. Let's play a game, all right? And the game is this, all right? Here's the game. The game is, if I'm sitting home, I'm going to pretend like I'm one of the attendees here tonight. And I'm going to ask you a question. And the question that I have is this. This is my first question. If I'm sitting in this audience here tonight, my question to you, Doc, is this. One word. How? How? And the
I'm
word
going to answer that
is, how in the world did you create the go-to spinal decompression center with 12 spinal decompression tables? How?
Okay. My first question is, can everybody see me or just hear me?
Both.
Hey, Dr. Bard, can you hear me?
We can hear you and see you.
Oh, you can see me too. Okay. Oh, I was afraid of that because Jason helped me finally get on this. And I had one of the girls from the office over here helping me, and she finally had to leave. And then I've been pulling my hair out, so I don't look very good tonight.
You look great. Your show, baby.
Okay, all I can tell you is I've been with a lot of management groups, and when I asked you about 10 years ago, when I started with you, and first of all, I'm so flattered when I saw all the names of the doctors that are on this call, so many wonderful, great doctors, and they should all be doing this instead of me, because especially like Dr. Stephanie and Dr. Jason, they've only been doing it for 3 years. I've been doing this for 10 years. I should have 20 tables. Dr. Mark Lesagio, Dr. John Zelix, Dr. Dan Weymouth, so many wonderful doctors are on this call. I am so flattered and I'm so humbled by it. And all I can say is, if they had been doing this for 10 years like I have been, they would be way ahead of me, because they're all better doctors than I am. I'm just going to be straight with you. And the best way I can answer this, the way you answered me 10 years ago, and I said, Dr. Bard, you were seeing 20 new patients a day. You know, I've been with every management group, I've read every book, I've listened to every cassette, you know, because I've been doing this for 35 years. And I asked you, I said, Dr. Bard, what is your secret to success? in like 2 or 3 sentences. You said, I can give it to you in 3 words: focus and momentum. And that's the best advice tonight that I could give the doctors. You don't have to be smart you don't have to be brilliant. You don't have to have a great personality. I don't have any of that. The only thing I did was I followed your advice and Dr. Kaplan's advice: focus and momentum. And even during these difficult times, we started focusing on decompression patients. And we had a lot of patients. We had a lot of things going on. And when this all started, this whole virus thing started, a couple of the girls, we had a big meeting, and I sat down with them. You know, things got slow. Our healthcare attorneys told us to stop running TV ads. He said, just don't solicit, just stay open as long as you can. And so we stopped running all our TV ads. We stopped running so things got a little bit slow. But then I got all the girls together, and I sat down with them, and I simply said to them, I'm the captain of this ship. Every ship has one captain. And all I want is for my sailors to sail with me. And if I smell any fear, I'm going to have to set you afloat in a rowboat with 3 days of water and food. Because all I want are people who are not afraid. And this whole thing now is about fear. And it doesn't have to be that way. And a couple of the girls got up and left. They said, yeah, well, you know, you're really into all this natural stuff and blah, blah, blah. But we're very much afraid. And I said, I don't want anybody on my ship that's afraid. Because Dr. Kaplan talked about this last Thursday. You know, it's about fear. And when he brought out his little crazy 8-ball, oh my God, I thought I was going to fall off my chair. It was just the coolest thing. That brought back so many childhood memories. And he was just saying, you know, chiropractors, you can't be afraid. You just have to keep moving forward. And so I sat down, I gave all the girls a $5 an hour raise. I said, that's how unfearful I am. I'm committed to you girls who are going to stay because I'm not afraid. I'm going to give you a big raise. And let me tell you something, things have started taking off. We hired a 16-year-old girl to come in and write down all of the decompression patients, write down the mailing addresses. She was addressing envelopes. We're going to send out a mailer to all our decompression patients, all of our weight loss patients, all of our neuropathy patients, all of our neuropathy patients, and all of our stem cell patients. So I thought, we're just going to keep moving forward with no fear. And guess what? Guess what happens? Things start happening when you're not afraid. And you told me a long time ago, Dr. Bard, you and Dr. Kaplan both said, the best way to overcome fear is to take action. When you take action, the fear goes away. So I don't want to talk too long. I know it's getting late. So I hope I answered the question.
No, you are spot on. And let's see here. Let me see here. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. No, we actually, believe it or not, I actually have questions that are being sent to me as we speak. So 100%. And so what I would love for you to do is this. What I would love for you to do is talk a little bit about the simple fact. You said something one time that was probably a statement that resonated with more people than any single statement. And the statement was this. The statement, believe it or not, was how you spoke about, and this resonates so much with where we are at this place and moment in time, is you spoke about your demographic with respect to the simple fact that there was such a large percentage of individuals in your demographic that were living on government assistance. And, you know, here we are, Boca Raton, Florida, Highland Beach, Florida, Palm Beach Gardens. You know, I mean, we're in a different world here. We really are. Then you go there, then you go there and you start to see, you know, for example, that's why I dig tonight. You see guys like Pete Peduzzi, Dr. Peter Peduzzi. in Wexford, PA, which you love. This Centers of America, great doctor. Raymond Cementi, actually in St. James, New York. And oh, by the way, as a special treat, I don't know if you can see my phone is going wild here tonight. I don't know if you saw me text it, but I actually texted our lead person in charge of seats and Dr. Karen Saxteen from Oceanside, who actually during this Zoom meeting went on and grabbed a waitlist seat. Well, I texted to her, and guess what? I wish I could open my phone and actually show you, but guess what? You're in, doctor. Congratulations. They opened up a seat for you on the wait list. So congratulations. Life favors the action takers. So they will send you, you'll have a confirmation email tomorrow with the logistics, day, date, time, what to do, hotel there. It'll all be in there. We cannot wait to see you. It's awesome. So Dr. Lahr, if you would be so kind, talk about your market with respect to how do you deal with patients that present to you with that situation that are basically living on, as you know, as we said, on government assistance.
Yes, Dr. Bart, I remember saying that 60% of our population is dependent on the government, Social Security, disability, welfare. So I remember Dr. Kaplan saying a long time ago, when he had his disc problem, he shows his MRI. He said, I prayed, he hasn't said this in a number of years, but he said, I prayed to everybody on the wall, Mother Teresa, St. Jude, the Blessed Virgin Mary. And he hasn't said it for years. And I wish he would go back to that story. He said, I prayed to everybody on the wall. And he said, I was so mortified that my wife had to have me pee in a cup. So what happened was Dr. Kaplan was so motivated. He got into decompression because it changed his life. And this is all we have to convey to the patients. It is very simple. And I had the same kind of experience. It changed my life. I was dragging my right leg. I went to see Joe Montana's doctor. I went to the Curlin and Job Clinic out in California, Los Angeles. I went to New York City. They all told me the same thing. You need a fusion. You're going to have this, blah, blah, blah. To keep the story short, I think it's because I grew up in a chiropractic family. I had that experience. Dr. Kaplan had that disc experience. And so once you have that experience, once you see how powerful decompression is, you won't want to ever do anything else. And I'm not belittling chiropractic. I love chiropractic, but it can't hydrate the disc. And you're not going to get the same before and after MRIs with chiropractic as you are with decompression. And this is why Dr. Kaplan had this vision, and this is why he wanted to bring it to the chiropractors and change our profession so much for the better and raise us up. And see, once you start getting those results, and once you get that conviction and confidence, you never have to worry about selling to anybody. You never have to worry about walking into that room and saying, oh gosh, I'm gonna have to tell them it's gonna cost them $5,000. That doesn't even register up here when you understand the power of decompression and getting these people their life back. And it is just so powerful. I can't even say, it's so simple, doctors. It's so much easier than you think. Don't make it more difficult than it is. It's all about conviction and confidence. And once you start doing it, you're going to start seeing the results, and that starts to raise up in you. And the patients sense it, and they see it, and they pull out their checkbook because they sense it. It doesn't matter if you're in a poor area like us or in a richer area. It doesn't make a bit of difference. You're placing that value on it. They will find the money somewhere.
So what I would love for you to do here tonight is this. I know if I'm sitting here and watching you, and I'm starting to get a sense as to, wait a minute, hold the presses, time out. I'm learning here a few things. This is what I'm learning. These are my takeaways. Doctors, tell me if this is your takeaway. Number one, the C word, conviction. He has incredible conviction about what he does. The C word, confidence. He has incredible confidence in what he does. The C word, he has amazing clarity in his ability to hone in to the objection and to laser focus on what we always talk about in terms of, and we love doing this at boot camp where we do, and Dr. Kaplan is the master of this, where he talks about what we call the 3 F's. And if you want to talk about the 3 F's, we talk about feel, felt, and found. And feel, felt, and found was something that was created by a guy by the name of Dr. Zig Ziglar many years ago. And it was really kind of like a Cliff Note version to be able to overcome an objection, which is so incredible. Well, my favorite part of boot camp, and I say this at every boot camp, is right before we go to lunch, everybody in the room, what they do is they come with their absolute, toughest ass objection you can imagine. Like, and obviously they'll cover the basics. Well, oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I've been told my orthopedic surgeon said, I don't know if I need this. Oh, my husband said this. Oh, my wife said that. Those are the basic ones. Well, he nails those. But then once in a while, you get these like super creative ones that I love. Well, what I would love, Dr. Lohr, if you would, to talk about before we, because we have a little bit more time tonight. Let's hang out a little bit more. This would be like if you went to the Rolling Stones concert or you went to the Led Zeppelin concert. Well, they came out, they did their set, but guess what? The secret's in the encores. And if you've ever been to a great rock show, we're saving the best stuff for the encore. So this is Rich Lohr. And who knows? He may do 1 encore. He may do 2 songs. He may do 5 songs. He may go into his catalog of music that he's never played before. And that's why I want you to talk about, if you'd be so kind.
Sure.
The gift that keeps giving, which is your gift to our profession, which is the in-office, non-surgical, spinal decompression training that you are giving on August 1st with a hands-on treatment. Yeah. I don't even want to talk more about it. I'm just going to let you just share what it is, why it is, and to just share the love to this historic day. And trust me, it is historic. You're about to learn why. Would you do that for us?
Absolutely. Dr. Bard, if when I started in this 10 years ago, when I signed up with you and Dr. Kaplan, I would have given anything if someone could show me how to do this, because I bought a practice that had 2 decompression tables. I knew they sat there collecting dust for a year before I started doing anything with them. And because I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to transition. I didn't know how to, we talked about on an earlier video about Louis Pasteur and how to adapt to a changing environment. And this is what most doctors just don't know how to do. They're afraid, like Dr. Kaplan has talked about in the last couple of Thursday Night Lives. They're afraid, they're scared, they don't know how to do it. So all you have to do, doctors, is the master class. Everybody comes up to us after the first hour and a half and said, I wish to God, I would have come here a long time ago and done this before. This saves me so much time, so much frustration, so much heartache, and so much worry, and so much money. And so we keep the masterclass so simple. We've been working on it every day for the last 2 years, and not making the manual thicker, but shaving it down to something very simple. And we mentioned, Dr. Bard, when you filmed me on the TV show a couple of weeks ago, I want the doctors to take a manual home that they can leaf through and go through their notes, and it takes them no more than an hour and a half. They can review the whole weekend because it's so much simpler than you think. And most doctors think it's difficult. They're spending way too much time in the consultation, way too much time on the exam, way too much time on the report of findings. And all you have to do, doctors, is come to the master. We will give you the systems, the videos. We make it so easy. And my best phone call that I ever made. Are you still there, Dr. Bard?
You bet. Absolutely. Keep going.
Okay.
I wanted to show
Lost your
what it
base.
looks like.
Okay. So 10 years ago, I told the story before, but I had 7 report of findings all walk out the door 9 years ago when I first got started with you guys. And Dr. Kaplan, I called him. I said, Dr. Kaplan, I'm so discouraged. I had 9 report of findings. I was doing it all wrong. And he said, Rich, number 1, you're talking too much. Number 2, you're coming across as a salesman. And number 3, you're not totally committed. And then he just paused and he let me think, he let sink in. I said, Dr. Kaplan, I thought I was so dedicated. He goes, no, you're not. He said, if you were committed, you'd be closing these patients. And I just thought, wow. And so it took a while for that to sink in. You guys were so patient with me. And I said, no, years later at the cigar bar in St. Louis, when I was showing Dr. Kaplan those insurance checks from Blue Cross Blue Shield, I had 3 or 4 checks in my wallet. One was from Blue Cross for $5,000. One was from Health Alliance for $1,200. I said, Dr. Kaplan, I'm sending all these checks back. He goes, it's about time. And I just thought he was just like, he was so spot on. He knew what I needed to do. And he was so patient with me. And he, you know, what I love about Dr. Kaplan, when he's ready to say something important, he lowers his voice and he puts his hand on your forearm and says, Richie, here's what you need to do. And so that's what I do with the patients when they're on the decompression table. I put my hand on their forearm, I lower my voice, and I say, Mrs. Smith, here's my cell phone number. I want you to call me over the weekend and let me know how you're doing, okay? So you lower your voice and you touch them. See, that is one of the greatest gold nuggets I've ever learned from Dr. Kaplan. And it's just so powerful. It's these little things that we put in this manual that will make your practice so powerful. And doctors, all I can tell you is I was afraid when I started. I'm sure you remember this, Dr. Bard, when I followed you guys all over the United States, listening to you talk, and Dr. Kaplan would say, Rich is in, and now he's out. Rich is in, and now he's out. Because I was so hesitant to join another management group that I was going to be disappointed in. And you guys are the only management group that I've stayed with for almost 10 years because the gift just keeps on giving. I keep learning, and like these Thursday night lives and all of the little gold nuggets, it can transform your practice. Just don't be afraid. Just, you know, show up, come, and don't be afraid to change, because we make it as simple and easier than you can ever possibly imagine.
So, you know, one of the I'm good at a few things. I'm great at just a small handful of things. What I'm terrible at is keeping a secret. I really am. So tonight, Dr. K, would you be so kind, if you want to, you have some secrets for the decompression masterclass. And for those who are curious, if you want to, I don't even have a slide for it. If you go to decompressionmasterclass.com, you can learn a little bit more about it. But Dr. K, would you share a little bit about this one-of-a-kind training in a one-of-a-kind office in really a one-of-a-kind teaching, and more importantly, what maybe 1 or 2 little secrets about the doctors who are fortunate enough to attend?
You know, I got to go to my crystal ball and say, what's in the future? And it says, whoa, two things. It gave me two answers. Number one, my wife, who happens to be listening to this, says, you know what, Eric, we're not doing June. She says, June's your birthday. We're not doing June. June's out, so they better get on the waiting list. So that, hold on. That was my wife. Hold on, let me go to the April. Number two, you know, the master class, let me tell you why we do this. And Richie's so generous of his time, of his energy, and of his effort, because I'm going to tell you something. You know, they say, you know, Frank Sinatra says, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I'm going to tell you something. If you can make it in Decatur, Illinois, you can make it anywhere. Because I'm going to tell you, listen, I took Perry, I swear to God, Perry, I don't think Perry, they have lobster and Red Lobster. I said, Perry, of course they have lobster, Red Lobster. So we're in Decatur, Illinois, eating lobster, enjoying Richard's office. We did a lunch where we had Perry arranged a bus. We took all the people to the Olive Garden. And why do we do this? We raise money for the International Disc Education Association to put decompression tables in clinics. The table at Parker University that my son trained on, we donated. We donated it. We're now looking, Life University wants a table. You know, North American Medical did a research study with Emory University. Emory bought the table. The difference of chiropractors and medical doctors is chiropractors say, well, are you going to donate it? Well, these are expensive things. But so what we do is we raise money, and what we do is we put tables. You know why? Because the future of chiropractic has to be the improvement of technology. You can't be in chiropractic 101. No different than the iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many people have an iPhone 5? Everybody's going to a 10 or 11. Well, let me tell you something. We're in chiropractic 10. We're moving to chiropractic 11. And chiropractic 11 is understanding that insurance companies are going to pay you less. You need to take a cash component. You need to understand decompression. You need to understand neuropathy. You know, one of the things I love about Richie, as I said, who he didn't even talk about it, whose father's a chiropractor, his brother's a chiropractor. He has more chiropractors in his family than anyone I ever know. And what he does is he became what he said, focused. He became, but he was always principled. He was always a lover, you know, and we talk about it. So what we do, when Perry talks about the boot camp, let me explain what the boot camp is. It's a one-day MBA. We will teach you the 3 C's, how to capture, how to close, and how to convert. And that's available not to all the clients, but if you come to the event, if you get a seat, I will give you those videos. Perry's going to hate me for that. Come to the event. I will get you those videos. So even if you don't become a client, I don't care. You got to close, capture, and convert. But I'm going to tell you what, if you come to the event, you will learn what it takes to be a leader, what it takes to be a specialist, what it takes to go over. So June is out, May is in, God willing. But I'm going to tell you, you know, there's always a seat or two. There's always a cancellation. I'm excited about what it is. I'm excited about the master class because let me tell you something. For me to get on a plane and go to Decatur, Illinois, listen, that's my commitment to health. It's my commitment to Rich Law. It's my commitment to chiropractic. And I'm hoping, listen, Rich, I hope to eat a Red Lobster with you. I'm so excited for the experience because you know what? In the movie with Kevin Costner says, build the field and they will come. Richie, you built that field. And you know what? The leaders of the industry, they will come because they understand. You know, the secret, you know, if you read the book, The Secret, which I read, and I read every book, the secret, Richie, is what you do every day in your office. The secret is you see the future. The secret is believing. So let me tell you what my future is. Hold on. Where will I be in August? Oh, I'll be in Decatur, Illinois. Regardless of things that they are, I will be there. I will be there live. We're going to make history. We're going to take this profession to the next level. I'm excited to be here tonight. Perry, again, Richie, we finally got you in. Thank God for that.
Yes.
Hopefully you come back and we'll do more of you. Perry, again, without Perry Bard, these things do not happen.
Yes.
So,
So
so
true.
one little secret that we could share, because before we go, listen, if the band's still playing, the fans haven't left, the lighters are up now. Everybody's got their lighters up. That's old school. Now it's with a cell phone, and you put the little flashlight on your cell phone, and you hold it up at the concert, and you illuminate 20,000 seats at Madison Square Garden. That's a party. So the band hasn't left, and guess what? In Dr. Kaplan's genius, one of the things that he wanted to do was obviously the word for the day, which you will see at boot camp, at the Cairo event on May 30th, and on August 1st in Decatur, Illinois, for the in-office, non-surgical spinal decompression specific masterclass. Is Dr. Kaplan created something for that day that he wanted the doctors in attendance to be able to walk away with something that they could put on their wall, something that they could put on their website, something that they could put in every new patient package, something that they can emblazon in basically every which way, shape, and form. And it is the first ever MD certificate, which stands for Masters in Decompression. So before we head off tonight, Dr. K, can you just share a little bit about this incredible? I would come just for this certificate. In other words, I would pay 10 times the amount just to walk out and go, guess what? I'm an MD in the class in spinal decompression. Remember, it's qualified. I have an MD certificate. Think about that. Think about the power of that. Dr. K, on this special day, can you share a little bit about, in essence, the nucleus of the Masters in Decompression for the doctors that are fortunate enough to be there?
I've always said, Perry, as you know this, the enemy of great is good. And being good in today's world is not good enough. When I look at people like my son, I look at people like Rich Law. These are people that have mastered decompression, truly mastered it. And at the Masters, if you win the Masters in golf, you get a green jacket. Well, not only is Perry created a certificate, we have a certain tie. Jason got the first one last week, which has the Masters of Decompression. And why this is so important is this, doctors, is, listen, being good is not good enough. What do you want in life? What price are you willing to pay to be a master? If you can master decompression, you can bring cash into your practice. You can make a change in your life. You can change the profession. And what Perry and I are doing is on a weekly basis, we're working on preparing not only for the master class, for guys like Richard Law. Robert Law wrote a book and said the child is the father of the man. Perry and I are blessed to have over 100 and some odd clinics, probably 150 clinics. But you know what? That's a great learning experience. I learn from all of them. I learn from my son every week. I learn from his wife every week. We had dinner on Sunday, and we talk about, one is boat, and then we talk about chiropractic, and then we talk about decompression. And the beautiful thing, Rich, is, here's a kid, 34 years old, 3 decompression cases, closing cases, loving, yes, like you, Richie. He loves what he does. He's not into it for the money. Don't get me wrong. We all like making money. The master class that Rich does, I'm going to tell you, it's like I said, we take planes, trains, and automobiles to get out there. It's not easy. But however, when you go there and you see it, you learn what it's like to be a master. And you know what? Richie says 10 years. He's been a client and a client and a client and a client. But I'm going to tell you what he doesn't tell you is the work he put in. What he doesn't tell you is he followed Perry and I everywhere. What he doesn't tell you is he came to every seminar. What he doesn't tell you is he read every research study. What he doesn't tell you is all the times he called me and said, what do you think about this? What about that? What he doesn't tell you is how many MRIs he looked. Richie learned on saying, he says, well, you know what? I don't want to be just a chiropractor. I want to be a guide chiropractor. I don't want to be just a disc doctor. I want to be a great disc doctor. I don't want to just do decompression. I want to master decompression. And that's where the master class came from. It came from you, Rich,
Oh.
because you said you wanted to master it. And you know what? What do I respect more than anything is somebody that wants to be a master. You know what? I said when I did the commencement address at New York Chiropractic College, I said, if you're always chasing money, you're a slave. If you can teach money how to chase you, you become the master. Rich, you're a master. And for those of you that want to be a master, listen, all you're going to do is anything. We're going to put tables in universities. We're going to teach chiropractors how to take the game to the next level. We're going to teach dentists how to become orthodontists. I recommend that if you're on this and you've never been on it before, you need to come to the event. Get on the waiting list, get in. June is out. I don't know when it's going to be again, but we're going to do this one. Get on the waiting list. We'll do the best that we can. August, phenomenal, for clients only. The 3 C's, the videos, for clients only. However, come to the event. Come to the event. I will get you those videos. Why? We will teach you one-on-one how to close. We will teach you how to capture. We will teach you how to convert. And when you can learn the 3 C's, how to capture, how to close, and how to convert, your life will change. Because let me tell you something. Imagine 1 case per month at $4,000 is $48,000 a year. That's 1 case per month. If you can't do 1 case per month for this, you're not doing your job. You should be doing 2, 3, 4 a week. And if you're not doing that, doctors, you're not doing your job. You're not educating the people. You're scared that they might say no. Well, guess what? You know what? They might say no. The first time I asked my wife out, who's much better looking than I am, and she can look at me, is, you know what? She might have said no. You know what? But on May 24th, my wife and I will be celebrating our 40th anniversary. You know why? Because I asked her out on a date. And she said yes. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When she said till death do you part, she probably didn't think I'd live this long. However, it's an amazing thing that we do. We're in the greatest profession, in the greatest time for the profession. The coronavirus will be under control. Disc problems will be there forever. Neuropathy will be there forever. This is your chance, doctors, to make a change. Come to the boot camp, which is a 1-day MBA. Come to the event and learn what it takes to be part of our family. And we say that, we mean family. For those that are for the elite of the elite. And let me tell you something. Why do we restrict it? Because of the pandemic, there's a certain amount of bodies we can take. This is not a seminar. It's not like coming to Mark's in a Singer where there's 100 people in the room. No. This is secular seating. It's specific. It's restricted. And it's for only the good that want to be great. And listen, you vet me, I vet you. I don't need you. I don't need you if you want to be average. Average to me is the best of the worst and the worst of the best. But if you want to be great, if you want to help our profession, if you want to take a profession to the next level, the 3 steps are boot camp, the event, and masterclass. If you meet those 3 things, I'll put in writing that you'll make a hell of a lot more money next year. So I'm Dr. Eric Kaplan saying to Rich Law, Rich, you know, listen, I'm so proud of you. And your father's so proud of you. And your mother's so proud of you because you've taken chiropractic next level. The Perry Bard, hey, Perry, you're my muse, baby. Nobody does more for this profession behind the scenes than you do. We're here tonight, Zooming away under the restrictions of Zoom, okay, because of Dr. Perry Bard. So I'm grateful for this experience, and that's why I'm here tonight. So thank you, and God bless you all.
Well, who's having more fun than us? Not too many. Try like nobody. Who's having more fun than us? I haven't met him yet. I mean, because there's an energy, there's a synergy, there is a momentum to success. It does leave clues, but it all starts with the action steps that you take. I'm so excited for you, Dr. Karen, tonight, Dr. Saxton tonight, for securing a seat tonight. You took action. You were on the wait list. They approved you tonight. They're on it. They're on it. I can't make that guarantee for anybody else, but I will tell you that our staff is working diligently to really try to open up whatever we can on May 30th. That's the date. Write the website down. It is www.the Chiro, CHIRO event, EVENT. That is May 30th. For the doctors, like Dr. Cal George, who is on this with us in Addison, Illinois, and we're going to kickstart you tomorrow, Dr. George. I can't wait tomorrow for our first Kickstart marketing phone call. Yeah, here's a guy in Addison, Illinois, who watched Thursday Night Live, secured a seat to the Chiro event, and said, whoa, hold the presses. What's this thing that's going on May 29th? Hold on a second. How do I get access to that? Well, it's simple. You got to call Dr. Kaplan and see if there's what we call a meeting of the minds. And if there's a meeting of the minds, he will do whatever is necessary. And trust me when I tell you this, doctors, it is not, contrary to popular belief, it is not about this. We don't care what you can afford. We don't care what your financial statement looks like. We don't care how many clinics you have. What we care about is your commitment to excellence, your commitment to serve, your commitment to your patients, your passion, your love, your dedication, the fact that you wanted to do this journey, this ride as a chiropractor with no regrets, that you wanted to leave a legacy to your family, that you wanted to step up to the plate and do what other chiropractors didn't have the balls to do. Sorry, but that's the truth. That's just how it is. A guy by the name, many years ago, named Tony Robbins said this. He said that we learn 3 different ways. We learn visually, we learn auditory, or we learn what? We learn kinesthetically. Well, the magic of the spinal decompression masterclass, and the website, if you want to go check it out, we don't even have a slide for it, is decompressionmasterclass.com. The magic is that all of that comes together in one single day. The visual, the auditory, and because it's hands-on in a clinic that is the National Training Center for Disc Centers of America, trust me, it's worth the plane ride. And for those that are curious with the plane situation, I'm going to tell you what we did. All right. What we're doing is previously, when we were there 2 years ago, we took a plane from Palm Beach to Chicago and then from Chicago to Decatur. Well, this time it looks likely that we're going to fly more likely into the major airport, which actually is St. Louis, and then drive for like 2.5 hours. Boy, what a car ride that's going to be. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that car ride? And yes, we'll have our video.
I can make it 2 hours.
Well, you know what we do the day before, for those of you who don't know, is we actually film videos for the Disc Centers of America doctors. We film testimonials. Dr. Laura actually has patients that are scheduled that day, filming neuropathy testimonials, filming spinal decompression testimonials, filming new footage for the doctors. This is his gift, plus all the videos, Rich, that you're giving away. Holy cow. I mean, is that nuts? The video package that you personally put together for the doctors that are able to grab a seat for that. I mean, talk about over deliver with a capital O. I mean, it is just off the hook. I mean, this will be a day, trust me, that if you're in the spinal decompression business, you will never, ever, ever forget. And remember, Rich, do you remember what I said to you last week when I said, do you know who I feel sorry for?
Yes.
I feel sorry for the doctors that
August
came
2nd.
across this on August 2nd. Do you
You're
remember?
so right. I do.
I feel bad for the doctors that stumbled onto this
Yep.
on August 2nd that said, holy crap, I can't believe I missed the in-office, one-time only, spinal decompression, in-office masterclass, and more.
Yes.
You know, this is a joy. Hey, listen, you know, we went into 2 overtimes here tonight, but guess what? It's about winning. And if you are positioned to win by surrounding yourself with the most entrepreneurial, dedicated chiropractors on the planet that love treating spinal discs, then guess what? The party's just getting started. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Technical difficulties and all, it was worth it. Hope to see you guys.
Appreciate your patience.
You bet. May 30th is the day.
Love you guys.
www. The Chiro event. Awesome.